So on today's episode of ROAM Overlanding, we are going to be installing a new set of rims and tires on the ROAM 2.0 Hilux. And who's come on board to partner with us for this is actually Cooper Tyres. And I'm stoked. And to have them on board, that's just epic. So they've got an incredible selection of tires for me to choose from, and stay tuned to hear which ones I've chosen.
Welcome to another episode of ROAM Overlanding. My name is Adrian Abrahams, and last week we head over to National Luna to finalize our fridge and dual battery setup. This week we're going to be changing out our tires and rims and testing them for the very first time.
So there were three main options for me to kind of choose from. Now it starts with the AT3 XLT, which is a more road-biased all-terrain tire. It's got fantastic grip in the wet, it's got fantastic handling on the tar, and you know, it would be the tire that most people would probably go for, because it would give you a balance between your day-to-day lifestyle but also being able to go out on the weekends and having a fun, tough tire to kind of handle a couple tracks here and there, or a beach holiday or something like that. Then the next option was the ST MAXX, which was actually on this vehicle before, and is actually a tire that Bush Law use on their entire fleet of vehicles. So, you know, they're looking for a tire that is very reliable. They're looking for something that is resistant to punctures. They're looking for something that has got good grip, because they have to hand these vehicles over to people who have never driven a 4x4 before, and you know, if their customers get stuck or have problems, it becomes their problem. So obviously they went for the ST MAXX with that. Now the thing with the ST MAXX is it's actually a hybrid all-terrain. So it's a cross between an all-terrain and a mud terrain. So it's got, you know, the lugs on the outside of the tread pattern are more of an aggressive mud terrain, and then the internal ones are more of an all-terrain. Now they actually have really good road handling, good road manners, good performance in the wet, and they're honestly a pretty solid tire, and are the sensible choice for overlanders and 4x4 enthusiasts alike. Now the next tire that they have is the STT PRO. Now this is their full mud terrain tire. This is 80% off-road, 20% on-road. It's quite aggressive. It's a very specialized tire. It's really for people who are out every single weekend. They're really thrashing it out on the trails, or they work and live on a farm, and you know, they are doing loads of dirt roads every single day, and they've got tough terrain to handle all the time. Or maybe you're kitting out a vehicle for a specific expedition. You really want to go overland somewhere specific. Maybe you want to go in Botswana in the wet season, or you want to go up into Namibia and you're just going to be around Namibia, and you're going to be doing hard trails and, you know, difficult terrain all the time. Because that is, you know, being 80% off-road, it's going to have, you know, fantastic performance off-road in mud and rocky conditions and things like that. The grip is going to be incredible, and you're going to be able to clear the treads easily in muddy terrain. But you're going to lose a little bit of on-road performance. It's going to be louder. It's, you know, going to be a bit more kind of vague on the road because you've got such big tread blocks. But you also have to look at it for different strokes for different folks. Now, the sensible thing would be to probably put on the ST MAXX, because it's a solid all-rounder. But I know that with the ROAM 2.0 build, I really want to be pushing the limits with this vehicle as much as I can. I'm not going crazy on lift or, you know, putting massive tires on. So for me, I'm taking a quality over quantity approach. So I want to make sure that I have got solid performing tires on there, that I can go wherever I want to, and there is no limitation to the tread that I have on the vehicle. So let's head over to Multi Tires in the meantime and see what rims and tires I've chosen for the ROAM 2.0 build. We'll see you there.
There's certainly nothing wrong with the rims and tires coming off of the vehicle, and they will go on to find a new home for sure. but we will be sticking to the 17-inch rim size to accommodate for our recent Power Brake Big Brake Kit upgrade. And when it comes to your rims, many people underestimate the importance of picking the right rim for your application. And the rims of choice here are the ProComp Predator 35's. They have a load rating of 1.1 ton each and a lifetime warranty from cracking, which is critical for heavily loaded overlanding vehicles. Now, these paired up with a set of Cooper STT Pros, which have another load rating of 1.4 ton each and a 10-year warranty, this is certain to be an incredible combination. Now, the ST MAXX and the STT PRO share plenty of similarities in their construction. They both use a silica-based compound for improved grip on and off-road and in the wet conditions. And very importantly, they both use the Armortech 3 ply sidewall for incredible puncture resistance. However, the tread pattern and side biters of the STT PRO are going to really shine when the going gets tough. Now, because we are putting on a mud terrain tire, it is incredibly important to balance them perfectly. And that's where Multi-Tires comes in with their fancy wheel balancing machine, which actually creates a 3D map of the entire tire and tells you about its wear pattern. It tells you exactly where to place the balancing weights, and then even once you've scanned in your set of tires, it will tell you where to place the tires on the vehicle for reduced noise and vibration. Now, for the moment of truth, to see just how this new setup is going to transform the Hilux. I think the difference is huge and is really going to give me confidence going forward with my adventures, especially considering we'll be running 2 spare tires. One in the standard spare tire location and another one we're going to be putting up on the front roof rack. It'll just be a carcass, so in the event of multiple punctures, I at least have a tire to swap out in the middle of nowhere.
Now we've gone for a 265/70/17 Cooper STT Pro, and it looks fantastic. The wheel combination we've got there is the ProComp Predator 35. Now the ProComp Predators have got a 0 offset, and we are still running a 17-inch rim with an 8.5 J. Now the J measurement is the width of the rim, and that's going to dictate what profile tire you can actually put on that rim. So we can fit a 265 on there, we could probably fit a 285 on there. Now I didn't want to go too big on the wheels. You can see I've actually had to remove the rear mud flaps there because the tires were actually catching on the mud flaps. So I've pulled those off for now until we can get the suspension finally tweaked, get the upgraded control arms in there, move the wheels a little bit forward. Then we might be able to put those little mud flaps back in. Let's get out there and play around with the setup and see how do these bad boys perform. So I think first things first, let's go deflate the tires and get them ready for a little bit of fun. This is obviously something that's going to have to be tested over tens of thousands of kilometers through all different types of terrain, but I thought it would be fun to get out here, see a bit of a trail, and have a bit of fun. Anyways, let's get cracking.
It's crazy to think that this is the first time I've gotten to take my new Hilux off-road, and quite honestly, this was the perfect spot to warm up and get familiar with the vehicle and the new tires. The Kungwini Academy course is not a particularly difficult trail, but it has a nice variety of different obstacles to test the setup. And what's great with the diesel-powered Hilux combined with the auto transmission is that ability to have control over the vehicle off-road. Now this control, combined with a great set of tires, can take you pretty much anywhere. So my goal over these obstacles is to pretty much just crawl slowly over everything and see how much grip these tires really give us. And there hasn't been too much rain out here recently, but there's still a little bit of mud for us to play in. Now over these axle twisters, we get to really see the tires work their magic with the flex of the new suspension, and they just eat it all up. can actually see how the tread molds around the edges and really bites onto the terrain to give the vehicle grip on difficult surfaces. But this was no real challenge for the STT Pros, so we're definitely going to have to find something a little bit messier. And I know just the spot. Even doing this water crossing was a walk in the park, and I can't wait to encounter more challenges in the future to put these tires to the test and see just what their limitations are. I think we've got many awesome kilometers ahead of us, and I cannot wait to get out there and experience it all and share it with you guys.
So that is actually a really fun little course here. And my goal for this was to take it super slow. Not to let momentum trick the performance scale. So I just took it slow, pretty much just crawled through absolutely everything. The tires didn't slip for even 1 second. They just had grip the whole time. We had a good few little muddy patches to go through as well. And I mean, those treads are super clean. And you know, the thing is, even going slow, the treads are clean. But obviously speeding up and getting the wheels to spin is going to really clean out those treads. But I must say, look, this is a tiny little test, but it was a huge amount of fun. And I really can't wait to see these tires perform on some massive trips and some epic trails. But thank you guys so much for joining in on this episode, and you know what, I can't wait to get out there and properly use these STT Pros. Anyways guys, I just want to say a massive shout out to Cooper Tires for supporting the show. And you know, without any of these incredible sponsors, quite frankly, this show wouldn't exist. So thank you for hanging in there throughout the build. We are getting so close to wrapping up this entire build and beginning our first travel series. So thank you so much for tuning in week on week, and I'll see you guys again next week. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of ROAM Overlanding. I just want to take a moment to thank my awesome patrons for their support, as well as let you know if you want to join in on our weekly live streams and updates, you should head over to Patreon and become a member. On the next episode of ROAM Overlanding, we head over to Viper Exhausts and Dust Tech to give the vehicle a bit more oomph. Let me know what you think of the new Cooper tires in the comments down below. And I just want to give a massive shout out to all my incredible product partners. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. Anyways, see you next week. Cheers.